measuring ourselves in a different way is what kind of sets community forests apart in the business. Because you're managing for the benefit of the community, you have a higher level of accountability to the people around you, your friends, your neighbors. You're managing for them, you're managing for their children, you're managing the land base around their community in a very specific, very personal kind of way.
This company operates with a conscience and with a definite goal in mind of benefiting the community and not simply making a profit.
They're investing in other ways that will be prolonging sustainability of our town. They're investing in different things, and I think that's a good thing. It's not all going to Victoria or Vancouver, so definitely a benefit.
We manage a specific area. When that area is done, and either from a harvesting perspective or the trees are falling down or a fire takes place, this is the land base that we have to manage, so we can't just get up and move and go somewhere else.
Not only were we managing the community forest for the long-term sustainability and benefit of the community, but all of a sudden we had, millions of cubic meters of dead trees, and we needed to try to salvage them and get the land back into production again.
Forests around our community are primarily pine forests from large fires that happened between 80 and 160 years ago. There's lesser amounts of other species like spruce, aspen, subalpine fir, but mainly we're talking about pine forests. And of course, with the pine comes along the mountain
pine beetle has really forced us to take a really, really hard look at how we're going to manage the forest and protect all resources.
From when the pine beetle hit to when that log or that tree is no longer any good, like I think it's only about a 5-year window that we could to harvest that wood.
The timber isn't the only value out there. It's certainly part of how we've sustained our community forest and how we give benefit back to our community. But there is a bigger picture that we have to look at, and so we make sure that we have our glasses focused to every resource out there. First Nations values are really important, and many areas in our community forest have really high significance to the First Nations.
We have a lot of input in the community forest. Like it is, if there's something that's going to be developed, like a hiking trail or a cross-country ski trail or something like that, we have a lot of input on where they should be and how it should be done.
A lot of people here have forestry backgrounds. To work with the community for the community, you need community input. It's a community owned by the people, so we needed people's input for it.
Recreation has been a very strong focus of ours since the very beginning. It goes right from maintaining recreation sites and trails to creating new recreation opportunities. The mountain bike park here in Burns Lake, which has just recently started and has the goal of being a world-class destination. We're proud to support things like that.
Well, financially, they've provided land for us to build trails on and provided free machine rentals for our crew to build.
We wouldn't have had half the stuff up here without them. They've just been with us all the way. So.
They supported us right from the grassroots. And we've ridden all over the province, Whistler everywhere, and I think we've got some great trails here. It's just starting out, and there's going to be more later.
Yeah, can compete with any trails around the province. They're fantastic.
What's exciting about the trail system is that although even recently the mountain bike trails are developed sort of specifically for mountain bike use, we have every age group and every user group out there on the trails, and so we have the running club and the hikers and just the daytime users, and we have people in the wintertime using these for snowshoeing, for skiing. It has been tremendously exciting to see the use.
We have skidoo races in the wintertime, and that brings people from all over, from states to Alaska and all over Canada to come here, and they have their fun for 3 hours, and the community benefits by bringing in monies that would otherwise never be there.
We support sports groups and the arenas, some of the sporting infrastructure in the community. Also things like the airport. We have an airfield here in town. We've helped contribute to upgrading the airstrip, and also the terminal building that's being constructed has received a large amount of funding from the community forest. Lakes Communications was a wireless internet company we purchased, and one of the main purposes was to provide high-speed internet service to our spread out and rural population in the area. And this creates opportunities for social networking, for education, and also, which is probably the most important to us, is potential business development. Because if people have high-speed internet, they can have all sorts of different kinds of businesses and not have to be in a larger center.
Lakes Communications provides wireless internet services to approximately 215 customers in the Lakes District that otherwise would not have access to internet or high-speed internet.
Even in today's markets, we have a little bit of an advantage because of our ability to specialize on different products, whereas the larger mills can't, and I think that's why we are running today and a lot of mills aren't.
Sharon Custom Milling was a small mill out at the Babine Forest Products location that primarily made ties and timbers as its product. We felt that Sharon was a good fit for us because of its small size. It would be suited to our long-term supply, and so we could reliably supply it with material, stabilize its employment, and would also give us a way to perhaps find a higher value out of our wood supply.
They are reinvesting back in our community where a lot of the major corporations don't. They take their profits and go. In the long run of things, I would say Community Forest actually has done an excellent job in looking after the local people here.
I don't think there's a forest-based community in British Columbia today that's not looking ahead with some trepidation. But it's also somewhat of an exciting time because we need to find new opportunities. And with any crisis, there is opportunity. And we like to think that we have some opportunities now.
One of the great joys of being able to work for a community forest is that the benefits are staying in the community. The value isn't going out of the province or out of the country. And for us, it's our neighbors, it's our friends, it's our families.
I've raised 5 kids here. It's a nice area, and I'm actually from Toronto originally. I don't regret moving here. It's kind of breaks your heart to see the way our forest has gone. You make the best of it. Hopefully my kids can stay here as well. That's what I'm hoping for.
The wood has value right now for sawlog. The wood will have value later on for other products, whether it's pulp or whether it's pellets or whether it's generating power. Any of those other uses we can come up with will help prolong the supply, lessen the shock of that fall down. So really that's where our focus is. We know the fall down will come. We'll manage to those parameters when we get there. It puts a little bit more pressure on us to make sure that we're doing the right thing from a variety of perspectives, not just profit for a corporation or for shareholders.
We don't want to, in 5 years' time, when the mountain pine beetle is finished with us, just be, handing the key to someone and saying, lock the door when you leave. We want our community to be a vibrant and community in the future.
And we know that the new forests we're planting are going to be beautiful and they're going to provide economic opportunities down the road. So there's some benefits to us in tending those forests and getting them ready for the future, for the next generation.
Forestry has been here for years and years and years, and they've come across other problems with it, and we've always gotten through it before. So, one door closed, but usually there's other doors that are open, which will lead to more doors.